Hello everyone, I'm Chester44, also known as Fly, and welcome to this Let's Play of Wrath of the Righteous. Last episode, we looked around a bit more of the upper city, and managed to find, well, the last few areas we need to look at up there, and also found those succubi we needed for the Battlebliss, and another place to put that rune, which turned it into a true rune, which we used to open up a hidden door with some very difficult foes inside. With that taken care of, we can now move on. So, first things first, back to the Nexus where I'm going to take a rest, because that was brutal and used up a number of our spells. And also, while I am here, Woljif, you are going to take this. Because, I mean, that just means you're going to be stabbing people. You might be able to dazzle enemies, which will be useful. Now, let's go ahead and rest. Demon Slayer soup sounds fine. You believe that the mutations and high mortality of Mongols are a product of demonic influence. However, you cannot discount the possibility of interbreeding. I will show you a graph. I hope that thick red line going sharply downward means something good. Right. Best not to ask. So, let's head down here. Woljif, I can actually sell things to you, I think. Yeah, I can sell you all this stuff. I think we're good on natural armor. I'm gonna hold on to the scimitar for reasons. Because I might need it for something. There we go, another 96 grand. Alright, we'll stick with the group we have right now, and head to the Battlebliss.
We do it my way.
Actually, I don't think it really matters. Well, oh, the angelic aura. Okay. You know what? Nah, we'll stick with Camellia for a bit. To the Battlebliss. And we have the opening right over here. Into the arena. Thank you. Okay, we've made it to the arena. Okay, Zeklex. I arranged a deal with the succubi. Ah, I'm glad to hear it. Your help in these matters is invaluable, since I cannot attend to them myself. I think you will find the reward for your assistance is quite generous. I've arranged a fight for you against a member of the Nahindrian League. Please let me know as soon as you're ready. I hope this wasn't just a waste of time. You have no idea how important this was. Thank you for your help. I'm ready to enter the arena. I hope you came prepared. The members of the Nahindrian League are formidable opponents. Atselm, your next opponent, has claimed the lives of over 100 of her opponents. She has also been slain in the arena on 3 separate occasions. However, she never stays dead. It's quite mysterious, but she always comes back to life, ready to fight in the Battlebliss once more. Who is my opponent? The imp scowls and covers his face with his hands. He peeks out from between his tiny fingers as if he is wearing a mask. The tiefling glances at his familiar and then nods. Atselm will be your opponent. She's a very dangerous member of the Nahindrian League, but she is a bit of a mystery. She used to work for the Assassin's Guild, and no one knows why she left. She is swift, deadly, and violent, but most importantly, she's extremely hard to kill. Stay on your guard against her. Earning your membership in the Nahindrian League will not be easy. Alright, I'm ready. I wish you good luck. If you die, greet death with a sweet kiss. Better still slay all your opponents and return alive and victorious. Are you talking? Now she wants a place in the Nahindrian League. This is Falai Galassan, the Method Slayer. The Nahindrian League proudly presents its fighter. You all know her, you obsess over her, and you all fear her. We've enjoyed her hundreds of victories in the arena, and 3 times we've enjoyed her defeat and painful death. But every time she has come back from the dead, an artist of suffering, at Selm thrice killed. I'll cut out your eyes faster than you can blink. The winner of this fight will be granted membership in the Nahindrian League, and the other will die. Or in the case of Atzel, not die. We will have to find out. Fighters, commence battle!
Your actions, not your words.
Commence battle indeed. Go after her.
Let's have some fun.
Okay, that got terrified. But she is already at half health. And she's down. I can't... Oh. Arena, I'll be back. I always come back. This is not the end. This can't be happening. The Nahindrian League's fighter is down. The fearsome Atselm has fallen. Long live the newest member of the Nahindrian League. Ermangalith solemnly raises his hands for silence. His eyes sweep across the arena before coming to rest on you. There's a sly look on his face, and he gives you a cheerful wink before quickly resuming a pompous and dignified expression. He turns back to the crowds, and his voice booms out over the arena. Behold, the newest member of the Nahindrian League! She is invincible, bloodthirsty, violent, and cunning. It's Falai Galasan, the Method Slayer! Glory and death! The crowd goes wild. Demons climb over one another, trying to get a better look at you. The roar of the spectators grows so loud you can feel it in your bones. The audience is utterly enthralled. They look at you in wonder and worship you as if you're a goddess. Shout the traditional gladiatorial battle cry. The crowd roars its approval. The screams of the audience shake the arena, and the Battlebliss trembles with the noise of their stomping feet. They pump their fists excitedly and yell in unison, Method Slayer. Ermangalith lays his fat hand on your shoulder with exaggerated friendliness. This gladiator is no longer an unknown fighter, a loner without a place to belong. For her valor and courage, Falai Galasan will receive a collar of the Nahindrian League. From now on, she is the precious property of the Battlebliss. I am pleased to tell you that I have personally taken this worthy warrior under my wing. Look out, champ! Ermangalith pats you on the shoulder again, and as he does, the world around you fades to black. Hey, that's enough fooling around. You have more methods to defeat. Ermangalith looms over you. The arena master's massive bloated torso wriggles wildly as he bursts into a fit of maniacal laughter. As the Cambion howls in amusement, you realize that your neck feels stiff. You reach up a hand and discover that you are now wearing a jewel-studded metal collar. The hand's voice is filled with sorrow and remorse. I've let you down, champion. That fiend has taken you captive, and I was unable to stop him. I could not perceive his motives through the veil of insanity that shrouds his damaged mind. I knew we were in the abyss, a place where you can't even trust your own shadow, but I failed to be vigilant. Well, what's done is done. Stay strong. We will find a way to free you. I expect an explanation. What did you expect? You were so desperate to join the Nahindrian League, and now you're a member. Did you think I'd let you wander around Alushanira and risk your ass out on the streets? Well, think again. I don't want anyone to slit your throat and leave you bleeding to death in some back alley. A death without any spectators? Absolutely not. No, when you die, the crowds will be screaming from the stands. That's a promise. The Cambion points to your collar with a smile. Please, accept this small gift with my compliments. It will guarantee your safety. This collar will make sure you do not leave the Battlebliss. I don't want you out looking for trouble on the streets. It will also prevent you from picking fights with other gladiators outside the scheduled fight times. It would be so wasteful if you started killing one another outside the arena. The crowds would miss out on all the action. No, there will be a time and place for fighting, but here, you can experience other kinds of entertainment. You'll enjoy all the pleasures accorded to a new star in the arena. The best food and drink, the most passionate succubi, and throngs of adoring fans. You'll love being my property, I promise. How dare you? You're trying to enslave me? This is disgusting. No, no, no! You will be my property, but I won't treat you like a slave. I won't make you run errands for me, or force you to do anything humiliating. You are my treasure, my precious instrument of violence. You will be a paintbrush in the hands of an artist. Yes, the arena will be my canvas, and blood will be my paint. I will use you to create a masterpiece of violence, pain, and death. Where are my companions? Your companions... Ah, yes, there was a group of Calarians who came looking for you, but I gave the guards strict orders to keep them away. Are they your slaves? Forget about them, you won't need them anymore. I own the best slaves in Elutioneer, and they are all at your disposal. Free me now. Oh, how I wish I could make you really angry right now. I'd love to watch you destroy everything. But now is not the time or place. You'll just have to accept that from now on you will live here, just like all the other members of the Nihindrian League. Only the champion is allowed to leave the arena because everyone thinks he is invincible. No one wants to pick a fight with someone who can't die. That's why the champion can do whatever he wants. Ermangaleth looks at you with a sly smile. Perhaps you would like to fight Geldefang? If you take his life and title, you can walk free. The chance to become the champion, why, is the opportunity of a lifetime. Too bad you won't survive. It won't work. I'll find a way to get free. Of course you will. But it won't happen the way you imagine. The crowd wants to see Geldefang tear you apart. They simply cannot wait for that to happen, and who am I to deny them? If I ignore their desires, they will storm the arena. Yes, soon you will take your last stand in the arena. When the champion is done with you, you will be truly free. Of course, you will be dead, but your spirit will live on. No one will ever forget the ambitious newcomer who almost defeated the champion. This collar reminds me of the seal we broke back in Dresden. If I try to break it here, its powers will be unleashed, and the collar will likely kill you. I don't want to take that risk, at least, not right now. Let's only consider that option as a last resort. For now, you should try to stay calm. Be vigilant, and look for opportunities to escape. I'm certain you'll find a way to get free. Not everyone seems to like the way you run the arena. Oh, please don't start spouting all that rubbish about fair fights. What does that even mean? One of the opponents is always stronger than the other, that's the whole point. After all, the fights are supposed to be entertaining. The spectators come here to watch the strong triumph over the weak. They want to enjoy the taste of victory without ever leaving their seat. The arena is a theater of violence, a deadly circus, but it is not a fighting pit. After all, fights always follow one of two narratives. Either the monster prevails over its helpless victim, or the invincible hero chops off the monster's head. The outcome of every fight is predetermined, and its narrative depends on what the spectators want to see. Some fighters are crowd favorites. The audience cheers them on with whistles and shouts of encouragement. And, of course, there are other fighters that they despise. The crowds jeer them from the stands. Why would anyone want to change all of that? It would ruin the show. The audience wants a performance, not a competition match between two professional gladiators. What's the point of a fight without any drama? You might as well just flip a coin to decide who wins. Nobody wants fair fights except for Zeklex. The audience likes things the way they are, but Zeklex handles the betting tables, and they haven't been very profitable. Of course, under my management, the arena makes money in other ways, but that's not enough for him. He wants to turn my magnificent theater of violence into a stupid slaughterhouse. Do you really think the Method Slayer is an amusing title? There is an insane light in the Cambion's eyes. He nearly chokes with laughter. Yes, I think it's magnificent. All of Illusionera finds it funny. You must admit, I have a talent for inventing memorable nicknames. Alright, I see your point. It is quite funny. The two of you laugh together for some time. You can sense that there's something not altogether right about his laughter. It feels unhinged. but it's also intoxicating, and as you drink it in, you feel the faint aftertaste of immortality on your lips. I think you've gone completely insane. Ermongolis smiles disarmingly. I surely am. As mad as a hatter, my marbles long lost. But what did you expect? You're in the abyss. Everyone is crazy here. If you are sane and sensible, you are shunned by society. You'll be considered an outcast. Just you wait. I'll find a way to break free from this collar. Oh, I'm trembling in fear. At least Ivu is here. So, Zeklex? Zeklex takes a wary step back. I thought I had convinced Ermongolis not to take you captive, but clearly I was wrong. But he's a raving lunatic and constantly changes his decisions. You should direct your anger toward him. Did you know that I was walking into a trap? I didn't know for sure, but I did have my suspicions. All the members of the Nahindrian League are considered Ermongolis' property, and since gladiators are valuable assets, they are not allowed to leave the arena. All of the elite fighters at the Battlebliss wear those collars. However, I did suggest to Ermongolis that he should make an exception in your case. I told him that he should allow you to remain free. I thought I had managed to convince him, but clearly I was wrong. Why am I being forced to wear this collar? These collars were worn by all the members of the Nahindrian League. You won't be able to leave the arena, and if you try to escape, the collar will immediately teleport you back to the Battlebliss. If you try to hurt Ermongolis or harm his property while wearing the collar, it will transport you to a safe and quiet place where you can calm down. Of course, the collar will be removed when you enter the arena. That's the only time members of the Nahindrian League are allowed to fight one another. Ermongolis doesn't want his precious property damaged outside of the arena, but there are no such restrictions once his fighters are inside. As long as there are screaming crowds in the stands, the gladiators can do whatever they want to one another. Did you hear that, champion? They'll take off the collar when you fight. As soon as you enter the arena, you'll be free and unfettered. You can do whatever you want. A lot of gladiators believe that they're invincible. They're so confident in their own abilities they'll challenge anyone to a fight. Before our gladiators had collars, they used to strut around the streets of Elutionera and pick fights with dangerous opponents. We lost a number of good fighters that way. Even worse, they would fight among themselves and kill or maim one another outside the arena without any spectators to watch. That's why I had the idea to create these collars. However, Ermongolis stole my idea and took all the credit for it. I understand. I apologize once again. I would certainly set you free if I could. Will you help me escape? Well, of course I will. I have a plan that will free you from the collar and help you defeat Gelderfang. And trust me, you will need my help. While you were unconscious, Ermongolis managed to find a Nahindrian crystal. Gelderfang has been obsessed with getting his hands on one, and his wish finally came true. A demon called Mutasifen took the crystal into Gelderfang's room and locked the door. For the next few hours, the sound of the champion's screams shook the arena. When Gelderfang emerged from his room, he was covered in blood, but he also looked stronger and more powerful than ever. Ermongolis is confident that you don't stand a chance against his champion, but I disagree. I think you can win. I want to overthrow Ermongolis and take over the Battlebliss. Ermongolis is terrible at his job, and he's standing in the way of my ambitions. There's no denying that he is a genius. No one can get the crowds excited like he can. But his management of the arena could not be worse. The fights have turned into a bloody circus. The opponents are never evenly matched. The crowds are losing interest, and the passion of the audience is fading away. I want to change all of that. But it won't be easy to kill Ermongolis. The current champion, Gelderfang, protects him. After his last escapade, Ermongolis has forbidden Gelderfang from leaving his side. That means Ermongolis is only vulnerable when the champion is fighting in the arena. So I want to offer you a deal. I'll help you eliminate Gelderfang if you'll help me overthrow Ermongolis. If you agree to my proposal, I'll make sure your companions join you in the arena when you need them. Then you can kill Gelderfang together. You can have the title and all the glory that comes with it. You'll become the champion and I'll take over the arena. Deal? The tiefling extends his hand to you and looks at you solemnly. Did you mention Mutasifen? I killed him not long ago. I've heard more than one person claim the same thing before. It didn't stick. That weasel Mutasifen is surprisingly hard to kill. Shake the tiefling's hand. The tiefling begins to speak in a brisk, matter-of-fact tone. The nymph nods his agreement with each sentence. Gelderfang is, of course, an extremely dangerous opponent, but he is not without his vulnerabilities. For example, He doesn't know that you hired the succubi to keep him company. Since you paid for their services, I think they'd be willing to accommodate some special requests. If you want to weaken Gelderfang before the fight, I'm sure you could persuade them to help you. I think that's everything. Try to make use of these advantages during the fight. It'll be your best chance to defeat Gelderfang. And while you fight for the title of champion, I'll eliminate Ermagaleth. He'll be vulnerable without his favorite bodyguard. Then the Battlebliss arena will be ours. Of course, you won't have to fight Gelderfang all by yourself. Your companions were worried when Ermagaleth kidnapped you. I reached out to them and secured their cooperation. I'll make sure they join you in the arena when the time comes. Is there anything I should know about my fight with the champion? The fight will not be fair. As you already know, Ermagaleth doesn't believe in a level playing field. First, he'll send in some weak fighters just to whet the audience appetite. Then you'll have to face more experienced gladiators. I have no doubt that you'll defeat them, but they might prove troublesome. Try not to let them wear you down and avoid injury as much as possible. You'll need to save your strength. Next, I suspect that some members of the Nahindrian League will enter the arena. Ermagaleth will send in some of his most loyal fighters. I expect to see Atselm and Ruxa. They don't care if the fight is fair or not. All they care about is gold and fame. Finally, after that, all of that, Gelderfang himself will enter the fight, and that's when Ermagaleth will be defenseless. What if I tell him everything I know? What do you have to gain? Even if you tell Ermagaleth everything, you still can't trust him. He's a lying cheat. He'll turn on you in an instant. In destroying me, you'll destroy yourself. Alright, I have other things to do. Rest up. You'll need all your strength for the upcoming fight. Find me when you're ready, and I'll escort you to the arena. Alright. We will be taking care of that in the next episode, because this one has gone on about long enough. Next episode, we look through here and see if we can find ways to weaken Gelderfang. Till then, I am Chester44, also known as Fly. That is me. This has been a Let's Play of Wrath of the Righteous, and I shall see you all next time.